Please join me in welcoming Ambassador Henry Ensher.
So good afternoon. Thanks very much for coming out. I wanted to start by taking note of and offering condolences to my South African colleague and all South Africans on the death of President Nelson Mandela. President Obama said that Nelson Mandela lived for the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. Mandela lived to that ideal and made it real. We have lost one of the most influential, courageous, and profoundly good human beings that any of us will share time with on this earth. He no longer belongs to us, he belongs to the ages. I have to mention definitely a happier event that also occurred within the last few days, and that is the draw for the 2014 Soccer World Cup. I have to say that I think Algeria was more fortunate than the United States in its draw. No excuses for not getting out of the first round this time. Let me start off with a few words about partnership, because it's partnership that forms the basis of everything that we do with Algeria. There's been a lot of accomplishment over the last few years, including in the areas of commerce, including in the area of education. We see vast potential for the ongoing relationship between the United States and Algeria. Our English language programs have increased. The number of exchanges between American experts and American business people and their Algerian counterparts have increased enormously, and we expect that to continue. We've seen business deals, including in such important areas as production of electricity and production of agricultural equipment, that have benefited both participants in that, and we've seen that American companies are prepared to commit to the Algerian market, to participate as full partners, to develop manufacturing capability here, to engage in technological transfer, and we support that. In my travel around Algeria over the last couple of years, I've noticed how rich Algeria is. It's rich in natural resources, and it's rich in the capability of its people. So what this means then is that Algeria is in the almost unique position of having its economic development entirely in the hands of its people. Algeria has the resources. If Algeria makes the right policy choices, development will follow naturally. That's our view, at least. So, for example, we're very happy to see that Algeria is moving toward negotiation of membership in the World Trade Organization, and we, of course, support that effort. It's very much in the United States' national interest that Algeria be a prosperous and a stable country and play an effective regional role. So we've taken note of the fact that Algeria has supported the efforts of its neighbors to bring stability and security and prosperity to their own lands. And we are certain that that will continue and will serve Algerian interests and in fact, will serve American interests as well. You know, we have the greatest possible respect for the Algerian constitutional requirement and principles of non-intervention and respect for sovereignty. We think that in these difficult times, when countries find themselves in such grave difficulty, they need the support and efforts of others to ensure that their sovereignty and security is respected. And it's that kind of support from friendly neighbors which in fact prevents the degradation of sovereignty, such as by terrorist groups. So looking forward to the rest of my time here in Algeria, I have to say I'm very optimistic. I see great things for your country and great things for the American-Algerian relationship. I'm happy to hear your questions now.
Salim Tamani, Liberté. Ma question est la suivante. Après le report de la visite du secrétaire d'État américain John Kerry, le dialogue stratégique algéro-américain dans sa seconde phase a été reporté. Est-ce qu'une nouvelle date a été fixée pour ce rendez-vous? Merci.
We're working now with the Algerian government to fix a new date. We found, of course, that the Secretary of State is working on several very important things. We're working on those topics as well with the Algerian government, and we expect that we will be able to fix a date in the coming period of time.
Hajar Galanfa, journaliste à TSA, tout sur l'Algérie. Est-ce que la position des États-Unis a évolué par rapport à la question du Sahara occidental, après la visite du roi du Maroc, Mohamed VI?
Let me say a couple of things. First of all, the short answer to your question is no. The policy of the United States has been and continues to be support for the UN process. It's also the case that human rights, as you know, are an important part of our foreign policy all over the world, and we're in close consultation now with the UN and with others on the question of human rights in the Western Sahara.
هل تعتقدون أن ما تزال ثم عوائق des obstacles qui empêchent l'investisseur américain de venir ici en Algérie؟ هل تعتقدون أن ثم ما تزال عوائق اقتصادية تعيق المستثمر الأمريكي للقدوم إلى الجزائر؟ السؤال الثاني وهو مرتبط بالأول، يعني منذ فترة التسعينات كانت الاستثمارات الأمريكية في الجنوب. بعد عملية تيغن تورين، يعني ما هي استراتيجيتكم لحماية مصالحكم مع الدولة الجزائرية؟
As I said, we think that the economic success of Algeria is very highly dependent on the policy choices that Algeria makes. We think that for encouraging American investment, one of the most important things is transparency. This means that the rules have to be very well known and publicized, and the rules have to be applied in the same way all the time, everywhere. We also think that such issues as the ability to move profits in and out of the country, the issues pertaining to handling of hard currency, the ability to undertake certain other financial transactions, also potentially inhibit faster growth in terms of American investment. And we would also say that the opportunity to have a majority ownership, if not 100% ownership, is something that American companies prefer. So certainly, while some American companies are prepared to work with the 5149 rule, it would be easier if that were, for American companies at least, if that rule were to be altered. Look, when it comes to security matters, we rely completely on the Algerian government and the Algerian authorities to protect any American presence here, any American citizens. We're in very close contact with those authorities, but we have the highest regard for the arrangements that they make, and we know that they take very seriously their responsibilities.